What if everything you thought you knew about the 3 days after the crucifixion was only half the story? The tomb was sealed. The soldiers stood guard. The world believed it was over. But deep beneath the earth, something had already begun. It was finished. That's what he said. 3 words that echoed across creation. The Son of God had breathed his last breath, and the sun itself refused to shine. But death, ancient, proud, undefeated death, had made a catastrophic mistake. It had let the wrong man in. Scripture tells us in the book of Ephesians that he descended into the lower parts of the earth. This was no accident, no defeat. This was a mission. The same authority that spoke galaxies into existence now walked willingly into the darkest place in all of creation, not as a prisoner, but as a conqueror. For thousands of years, the souls of the dead had waited. In a place the Hebrews called Sheol, generation after generation had gone down into darkness. Abraham was there. Moses was there. Every soul who had ever lived and died waited in that vast, silent place. And then, a light appeared that had never been seen there before.
1 Peter chapter 3 tells us he went and preached to the spirits in prison. The voice that parted the Red Sea, the voice that raised Lazarus from the grave, that same voice now rang out through the corridors of the underworld, proclaiming victory, proclaiming freedom, proclaiming that the debt had been paid in full. Every chain that sin had ever forged, every wall that death had ever built, every accusation ever written against the human soul, shattered. Not gradually, not partially, completely. Psalm 68 says he led captivity itself captive. Death thought it had won a prisoner. Instead, it lost its keys. On the 3rd day, the earth shook, not from an earthquake, but from something it had never experienced before. A human body being permanently, gloriously, irreversibly raised from the dead. The stone didn't roll away to let Jesus out. It rolled away so the world could look in and see he was already gone. Matthew's gospel records that after the resurrection, the graves around Jerusalem were opened.
And many saints who had died were raised and appeared to people in the city. The mission was complete. The captives were free. So why did Jesus go to hell? Because hell had something that belonged to him. Because every soul that had ever cried out to God in faith was waiting for the promise to be kept. He didn't descend because he lost. He descended because the victory wasn't complete until every corner of existence had heard the news. Death is defeated. The grave is empty, and he holds the keys forever. Share and subscribe if you would love this message to reach more people who love deep Bible mysteries.